Commander James Anderson stared at the holographic display, his eyes fixed on the pattern that had eluded everyone for decades. The blue dots representing alien probe encounters weren't random at all. They formed a clear testing pattern, like someone poking a beehive from different angles to study its defenses. "Play it again," he ordered, his voice steady despite the weight of his discovery. The control room of the Global Defense Initiative's headquarters fell silent as the simulation restarted. The timeline began in 2025 with the first confirmed alien probe incident off the coast of Japan. Then came 2027 in Brazil, 2029 in Russia, 2031 in South Africa, each dot appearing with precise timing. What everyone had dismissed as random encounters now revealed itself as a methodical survey of Earth's military capabilities. "Look at the response times." Anderson pointed to the red markers showing human counterattacks. Every incident prompted a different type of defense. Naval in Japan, Air Force in Brazil, ground forces in Russia. They weren't attacking us. They were cataloging us. Lieutenant Emma Wells, his second-in-command, leaned closer to the display. "Like a military assessment?" she asked, though her tone suggested she already knew the answer. "Exactly like that," Anderson replied, pulling up another overlay. This one showed the technological progression of Earth's defensive capabilities after each encounter. "And here's the thing that's been keeping me up at night. We learned from every single attack. Our response time got faster, our weapons more effective." The room's tension grew as the implications sank in. Earth wasn't just a random target. It was being studied, evaluated, and classified. Then came the breakthrough that confirmed everything. A young technician named Mike Roberts had managed to decrypt part of an alien transmission captured during the latest probe incident. The message was brief but clear. "Subject planet shows concerning advancement rate. Reclassify from developing to potential threat." Anderson walked around the holographic display, his reflection distorted in its blue light. "They've been watching us grow stronger, watching us adapt their own technology against them. Every probe they sent taught us something new." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Anderson's team compiled all the evidence into a comprehensive report. The pattern was undeniable. The aliens had been testing Earth's defenses systematically, but in doing so, they'd made a crucial mistake. They'd given humanity time to prepare, time to learn, and time to build. In the facility's secure conference room, Anderson presented his findings to the Global Defense Council. Representatives from every major military power sat around the table, their faces grim as they absorbed the implications. "Ladies and gentlemen," Anderson began, "we've been treating these incidents as isolated events. They're not. They're part of a larger assessment, and I believe we're approaching its conclusion." He paused, letting the words sink in. "The good news is we exceeded their expectations. The bad news? That makes us a threat." The Russian general spoke first. "What do you suggest we do with this information, Commander?" Anderson's response was ready. "We show them we know. We show them we've been watching them watch us. Most importantly, we show them we're ready." The council chamber erupted in discussion. Some argued for immediate military preparation, others for diplomatic initiatives. But they all agreed on one thing: humanity needed to act first. As the meeting concluded, Anderson stood at the window overlooking the city below. Somewhere up there, beyond the clouds and stars, others were watching, measuring, judging. But they didn't understand what made humans different. Every species they'd encountered before probably cowered at the sight of superior technology. Humans? They got curious. They learned. They adapted. And now, finally, humanity had proof they weren't alone. More importantly, they had proof they weren't helpless. The next probe wouldn't find an unsuspecting planet. It would find a world united and prepared, a species that had turned decades of alien testing into decades of advancement. The time for being tested was over. Now, it was humanity's turn to send a message. Dr. Mary Cooper's breath came out in white puffs as she made her way through the underground facility. The Antarctic Research Base, known officially as Deep Archive Site 7, held humanity's greatest secrets. Few knew that beneath the ice lay evidence of countless alien encounters throughout human history. She swiped her keycard, and heavy steel doors slid open with a hiss. The main archive chamber stretched before her, its walls lined with artifacts that most people would think belonged in science fiction movies. Dr. Cooper called out her research partner, David Brown, from behind a row of monitors. "You need to see this. Commander Anderson's discovery made me check some old files." Mary walked over, rubbing her hands together for warmth despite her thick gloves. The screen showed ancient cave paintings alongside modern military reports. Each told the same story. Humanity had been fighting off visitors from the stars for thousands of years. "Look at this pattern." David pointed to a timeline he created. Ancient Egypt, 3000 BC. Strange lights in the sky, followed by a leap in architecture. Rome, 100 AD. A shield of light appears. Suddenly they develop new military formations. Every single time aliens showed up, we got stronger. Mary finished his sentence. She pulled up her own research files. The Viking berserkers weren't just warriors on drugs like everyone thinks. They were wearing pieces of salvaged alien armor. That's why the stories say they couldn't be hurt by normal weapons. The evidence was everywhere once they knew where to look. The Great Wall of China was built following a series of dragon sightings. The Industrial Revolution kicked off after mysterious metals were found in English coal mines. Mary moved to the artifact containment area. Behind thick glass lay pieces of technology recovered from each encounter. A metal plate from ancient Greece that could deflect any weapon. A strange compass from the Ming Dynasty that pointed to the stars. With each attempted invasion or study, humanity had quietly collected more alien technology. "We reverse-engineered everything we could," she explained to the team of scientists gathering around her. "But here's what makes humans special. We didn't just copy their technology. We mixed different alien technologies together in ways they never thought of." She pressed a button, and a hologram appeared showing the evolution of human technology. Regular advancements appeared in blue, while spikes of rapid development after alien encounters showed in red. The pattern was clear. Humans didn't just learn, they improved on what they found. "Send this to Commander Anderson," Mary ordered. "He needs to know we're not just ready for them now. We've been getting ready for thousands of years." In her private office, Mary studied an old leather journal. It belonged to a World War II pilot who had encountered what he thought was a German secret weapon. The drawings matched perfectly with the alien probe designs they were seeing today. A message flashed on her screen. Urgent communication from the Global Defense Initiative. They wanted everything she had on past encounters. They were planning something big. "David," she called over the intercom, "help me gather all the files and bring up the records of what happened to the last alien species that tried to invade instead of just study us." The records told a clear story. That species had thought their superior technology would guarantee victory. Instead, they found their own weapons being used against them in ways they never imagined. They retreated and never returned. As Mary compiled the records, she thought about what made humans different. Other species developed their technology in a straight line, building on their own discoveries. Humans were scavengers, adapters, innovators. They took ideas from everywhere and combined them in new ways. The aliens had been studying Earth like scientists watching an experiment, but they'd made a crucial mistake. They hadn't realized that with each probe, each encounter, each piece of technology left behind, they weren't just testing humanity. They were teaching them. The United Earth Council chamber was packed. Representatives from every nation sat in tense silence as they watched the playback of humanity's victories against alien probes. Commander Anderson stood at the podium, while Dr. Cooper sat nearby with her research files. "For centuries," Anderson began, "we've been sending messages of peace into space. Hello, we come in friendship. We seek peaceful contact. Today, I propose we send something different. A warning." Murmurs filled the chamber. The Indian representative spoke first. "What kind of warning did you have in mind, Commander?" Anderson nodded to the technical team. The giant screen behind him lit up with images from Dr. Cooper's archives. Ancient battles, recovered alien technology, modern defense systems. "We show them everything," he said. "Every probe we've defeated, every piece of their technology we've mastered, every time they've tested us, and every time we've grown stronger." The Brazilian representative leaned forward. "Won't that provoke them?" Dr. Cooper stood up. "They're already watching us, already testing us. But they're doing it because they think we don't know. It's time to show them we do." The technical team had prepared a draft of the message. It began with the earliest known alien encounters, showing how humans had fought back with spears and arrows against advanced technology. Then it showed how humans had learned, adapted, and grown stronger. "Look at the progression," Anderson pointed out. "From bows and arrows to electromagnetic weapons in just a few thousand years. Show them how we took their own technology and improved it." The Chinese representative raised a hand. "What if they see this as a challenge?" "They already see us as a challenge," Dr. Cooper replied. "That's why they keep testing us. But they think we're blind to their tests. This message will show them we've been aware all along, and we've been preparing." The room fell silent as they watched the final part of the proposed message. It showed Earth's current defense capabilities, or at least what they wanted the aliens to see. The real defenses were far more advanced, but some secrets were worth keeping. "The message ends with this," Anderson said, playing the final sequence. The screen showed Earth's combined fleet, the defense platforms, and the ground-based weapon systems. Then came the words, "We know you're watching. We know you're testing. We're ready. We've always been ready." The council debated for hours. Some worried the message was too aggressive. Others thought it wasn't strong enough. Finally, the vote came in. Overwhelming support for sending the warning. As the broadcast preparations began, Dr. Cooper worked with the technical team to add the historical evidence. "Make sure they see how we learn from every encounter," she instructed. "Show them the pattern. Every time they probe us, we get stronger." Anderson watched from the control room as the message was prepared for transmission. They would broadcast it on frequencies they knew the aliens monitored. They would use their own communication protocols, proving they decoded their technology. "Add one more thing," he said to the team. "Show them what happened to the last species that tried to invade us." The final version was ready by sunset. The council gathered again to witness the transmission. As the countdown began, Anderson thought about how this moment would change everything. No more pretending. No more hiding their strength. The message began broadcasting, powerful transmitters sending it in all directions. In orbit, hidden defense platforms activated briefly to boost the signal, ensuring it would reach its targets. Somewhere out there, alien observers would receive this message. They would see that humanity had known about them all along. That every test they'd sent had only made Earth stronger. That humans weren't just another primitive species to be studied and catalogued. The message was clear. Earth was done being tested. Now it was time for the galaxy to be tested by humanity. Captain Thomas Reed stood on the bridge of the UES Vigilant, Earth's most advanced space cruiser. The ship floated silently at the edge of the solar system, hidden behind Saturn's rings. Its sensors were picking up unusual activity, lots of it. "Another transmission, Captain," reported Jack Wilson, his communications officer. "This one's different from the others." The galaxy was buzzing with alien chatter. Earth's message had definitely got their attention. The Vigilant's advanced listening equipment, reverse-engineered from captured alien tech, was picking up everything. "Play it," Reed ordered, his face illuminated by the soft glow of the bridge controls. The translated message filled the bridge. "The humans know. They've known all along. How did we miss this?" More messages followed. Some alien species were angry, others scared. The older alien civilizations, who had watched Earth for centuries, couldn't believe they had been outplayed. "Sir," called Lisa Turner from the sensor station, "I'm detecting gathering points. Multiple alien fleets are forming at these coordinates." She put the locations on the main screen. Reed studied the map carefully. The alien fleets were gathering at safe distances, just like humans had predicted they would. Some were preparing for war, others for diplomacy. None of them knew what to expect from Earth anymore. Back on Earth, Commander Anderson received the vigilance report in the Global Defense Command Center. Dr. Cooper stood beside him, analyzing the alien responses. "They're splitting into two groups," she explained, pointing to her data. "The aggressive species want to attack now, before we get any stronger. The peaceful ones want to talk while they still can." Anderson nodded, "Just like we expected. And the hidden ships we planted near their gathering points. Recording everything," Dr. Cooper smiled. "They still haven't detected them. They still think their stealth technology is better than ours." On the Vigilant, Captain Reed received a new set of translations. These were from the elder races, the oldest alien civilizations. Their messages were the most interesting. How did they advance so quickly? "They've combined technologies that shouldn't work together. They learn faster than any species we've ever encountered." Reed couldn't help but smile. Earth's warning message had worked better than anyone hoped. The aliens weren't just surprised, they were shocked. Every species developed technology in a straight line, building only on their own discoveries. Humans took ideas from everywhere, mixed them together, and created things the original inventors never imagined. "Captain," Wilson called out, "incoming transmission from the diplomatic fleet. They're requesting permission to enter the solar system. They want to talk." At the same time, sensors showed the aggressive alien fleet moving closer to Earth. They thought they were being sneaky, using their best stealth technology. They didn't know that humans had cracked that technology centuries ago. Reed sent his report to Earth. The message was clear. Both war and peace were coming. Some aliens wanted to fight, others wanted to talk. Humanity was ready for either choice. In the command center, Anderson read the report with a grim smile. "Send word to the Vigilant," he ordered. "Tell Captain Reed to maintain position and keep watching. Let's see what they do next." Dr. Cooper looked at the latest sensor data. "The aggressive fleet thinks they're being clever, trying to sneak closer. Should we let them know we can see them?" Anderson shook his head. "Not yet. Let them think they have the advantage. After all," he paused, looking at the global defense grid status on his screen, "all weapons charged and ready. We've gotten very good at surprising them." The massive alien fleet appeared suddenly at the edge of the solar system, their ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel in a display of power. There were hundreds of vessels, each one bigger than anything humanity had publicly shown they could build. In the Global Defense Command Center, Commander Anderson watched the fleet's arrival calmly. "Right on schedule," he said, looking at Dr. Cooper. "They chose to test us after all." "Should we activate the defense grid?" asked Dr. Cooper, her hand hovering over the control panel. Anderson smiled. "Not yet. Let's see what they do first." The alien fleet moved forward slowly, their formation perfect. They were putting on a show, trying to intimidate Earth with their superior numbers and technology. Their ships glowed with strange energies that their sensors knew humans shouldn't be able to defend against. Captain Reed's voice came through the command center speakers from the UES Vigilant. "Sir, they're broadcasting a message on all frequencies. They want everyone on Earth to hear it." "Play it," Anderson ordered. A deep artificial voice filled the room. "Primitive humans, your warning message was brave but foolish. Submit to containment now or face immediate destruction. You have 1 hour to decide." Anderson looked around the room at his team. Everyone was smiling. The aliens had done exactly what they expected. They'd chosen to try intimidation first. "Begin Operation Thunderbolt," Anderson commanded. Across the solar system, hidden defense platforms began powering up. platforms that the aliens' best sensors couldn't detect because they used combinations of technology that the aliens thought were impossible to mix. Dr. Cooper's research had shown how humans could combine the stealth technology from one alien species with the power systems of another. The aliens never tried this because they thought it would explode. Humans had figured out how to make it work. The alien fleet pushed forward, passing Mars. They'd probably thought they were being generous, giving Earth a whole hour to surrender. They didn't know they had already sailed into humanity's trap. "All defense platforms report ready," announced Turner from her station. "Grid is charged to full power." Anderson picked up his communicator. "This is Commander Anderson to all Earth forces. Execute Operation Thunderbolt. Show them what humanity can really do." Suddenly, space itself seemed to light up around the alien fleet. Hundreds of defense platforms appeared out of nowhere, each one powered by technology that the aliens thought couldn't exist. "Send our reply," Anderson ordered. The message was short. "We gave you our warning. You chose not to listen. Now watch carefully." A single defense platform fired. Its beam hit the alien fleet's largest ship, passing straight through their strongest shields like they weren't even there. The massive ship split in half, its crew unharmed, but their vessel completely disabled. The alien fleet scrambled to respond, but their weapons couldn't lock onto the defense platforms. Their sensors couldn't understand what they were seeing. Everything humans had built violated their understanding of how technology should work. Another message from their fleet commander, reported Captain Reed. They're asking how this is possible." Dr. Cooper stepped forward. "Should I tell them about how humans are the only species who tried combining different alien technologies?" Anderson nodded. "Send them the full technical analysis. Let them understand exactly how outmatched they are." The alien fleet received the data, and their reaction was immediate. Ships began powering down weapons. Their formation broke apart as each vessel tried to maintain a safe distance from the defense platforms. "New message incoming," Reed announced. "They're requesting permission to send diplomatic representatives. They say they need to reevaluate their understanding of humanity." Anderson looked at the main screen, watching the once mighty alien fleet now floating helplessly in space, surrounded by humanity's superior technology. "Grant their request," he said. "After all, we did try to warn them." The peace station hung in space between Earth and Moon, its silver hull gleaming in the sunlight. Inside the main conference room, Commander Anderson stood with Dr. Cooper and Captain Reed, waiting for the alien delegation to arrive. "They're docking now," Reed reported, checking his tablet. "Their scan shows only 5 representatives, as agreed." The alien who called itself the Observer entered first. It looked almost human-shaped, but its skin shimmered with a metallic blue glow. 4 other aliens followed, each from a different species. They all moved carefully, like people who had just learned they were not as powerful as they thought. "Welcome to Peace Station," Anderson said formally. "I trust our defense platforms didn't damage your ships too severely." The Observer's translator converted his words into a series of musical tones. "The demonstration was impressive," it replied. "We have many questions." Dr. Cooper stepped forward, spreading her research files on the conference table. "I'm sure you do. Like how we managed to combine your phase shield technology with the energy weapons from the 7th sector." The aliens looked at each other in surprise. They hadn't known humans knew about the 7th sector. "Impossible," said one of the other aliens, its green scales shifting color with emotion. "Those technologies are not compatible. The energy patterns would destroy each other." "That's what everyone thought." Dr. Cooper smiled. "But humans tried anyway. We found that if you add a third technology, the containment fields from the old probe we shot down in 1947, it creates a stable matrix." The Observer moved closer to study the technical diagrams. "This should not work. None of this should work." "That's humanity's greatest strength," Anderson explained. "We don't care what should or shouldn't work. We try everything. We learn from everything." And now, Captain Reed added, "We have something to show you." The room's holographic display activated, showing a map of nearby space. Small dots of light appeared, scattered across different star systems. "These are our colonies," Anderson said quietly. "The ones you never found because we used your own stealth technology to hide them. We're not just defending Earth. We're already out there." The aliens' reaction was everything they had hoped for. The observer actually stepped backward. Another alien made a sound that its translator didn't even try to convert. "How long?" the observer asked. "How long have you been capable of this?" "Longer than you believe," Dr. Cooper answered. "We didn't just sit here waiting for the galaxy to find us. We've been preparing, expanding, learning. Those probes you sent, they weren't testing us. We were testing you." Anderson walked to the window, looking out at Earth floating in the distance. "Now you have a choice. You can accept that humans are ready to join the galactic community as equals, or—" He let the sentence hang. They all knew what Earth's defense platforms were capable of now. The observer moved to stand beside him. "You understand this changes everything. The power balance of the entire galaxy will shift." "It already has," Anderson replied. "The only question is whether that change will come through war or peace. We're ready for either." The alien delegation huddled together, discussing in their own languages. Finally, the observer turned back. "We choose peace," it said. "But we have conditions." "So do we," Anderson smiled. "Let's talk about them." As the negotiations began, Dr. Cooper watched the aliens carefully. They were still coming to terms with how completely they had underestimated humanity. They had expected to find a primitive species trying to copy their technology. Instead, they found a civilization that had taken their best ideas and improved them. A species that had turned their tests into teaching tools. A planet that was done being watched and ready to do some watching of its own. The real shock would come later, Dr. Cooper thought, when they learned about the other technologies humanity hadn't shown them yet. 1 month after the negotiations, Earth's orbit buzzed with activity. Ships from dozens of alien species arrived daily, each one carefully scanned and monitored by the now visible defense grid. The message was clear: visitors were welcome, but Earth remained ready. Dr. Cooper and Captain Reed stood in the observation deck of the Global Defense Headquarters, watching the colorful display of alien vessels against the black of space. Another trade delegation arriving, Reed noted, pointing to a spiral-shaped ship with glowing rings. "That's the 5th one this week. Everyone wants to know how we did it," Dr. Cooper replied, checking her tablet. "How humans managed to advance so quickly." The observer's report to the Galactic Council caused quite a stir. Below them, in the main hangar, Commander Anderson was preparing for humanity's first official mission beyond the solar system. The UEA's Vigilant had been chosen as Earth's flagship, a symbol of how humanity had hidden its true strength for so long. "Latest report from the colonies," Reed said, handing Dr. Cooper a datapad. "They're starting to decloak one by one. The aliens' reactions are priceless, especially when they realize some colonies are right in their own backyards." Dr. Cooper smiled, remembering how the alien delegates had nearly fallen over when they learned that humans had been their neighbors all along. "Have they figured out yet how we managed to hide them so well?" "No," Reed chuckled. "They're still trying to understand how we combine their different cloaking technologies." The observer actually asked if we could teach them. The observation deck's door slid open, and Commander Anderson walked in. He looked tired but satisfied. "The Council just approved the expansion plan," he announced. "We're officially joining the galactic community, on our terms." On the main screen, news broadcasts from around the world showed celebrations. After centuries of hiding their true capabilities, humans could finally step into the open. Ships that had been cloaked for decades appeared in ports worldwide. Colonies that had existed in secret revealed themselves to their alien neighbors. "Look at this," Dr. Cooper said, pulling up a message from one of the frontier colonies. "The aliens living next to our Alpha colony thought their sector was uninhabited. Now they're asking for joint research projects. They want to learn how we think. That's what makes us different, Anderson said, watching an alien ship dock with the peace station. Other species stick to what they know works. Humans, we look at 10 different impossible things and think, I wonder what happens if we mix them together. Reed's tablet beeped with a priority message. Sir, the observer's requesting permission to attend the Vigilance launch ceremony. Says it wants to witness the official start of the new era. Permission granted, Anderson nodded. After all, they did help us make our point to the galaxy. The three of them watched as more ships arrived, each one carrying representatives eager to meet the species that had changed the galaxy's balance of power overnight. But Earth's defense grid remained active, its platforms constantly watching. The weapons were powered down but ready. Do you think they'll ever try to test us again? Reed asked, looking at the alien ships. Dr. Cooper shook her head. They learned their lesson. Every test they sent just made us stronger. Now they're more interested in learning from us than challenging us. Anderson walked to the window, his reflection overlapping with the earth below. We gave them our warning, he said quietly. We showed them we were ready. Now we show them what humanity can really do and we don't have to hide anymore. In orbit, the UES Vigilant prepared for its first official mission. Its hull now proudly displayed Earth's new motto for all to see. We come in peace, but we're always ready. The new era had begun. Humanity had earned its place among the stars not through conquest or submission, but by turning every challenge into an opportunity to grow stronger. The galaxy would never be the same. And somewhere in the vast archive beneath the Antarctic ice, among the records of humanity's long journey to this moment, a simple message was added. Mission accomplished. They finally understand.